Hello and welcome. I'll be doing a collective reading, and if you found yourself here, it is probably because there's a message for you in this reading. That said, not everything in this reading will probably resonate for you. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't for the person it's meant to find. Today's reading, I will be using the Santa Muerte Tarot for the main part of the reading, and I'll be using the Wild Unknown to clarify any cards that I feel need a little bit more in depth, but we'll see how the reading goes. I might use clarifiers, I might not. We shall see. So we go ahead and shuffle the cards now that I've got your attention, and we'll see what wants to come out. Besides my cat and my dog waking up again. Mm. Anyone with kids understands what it's like to try to find the time to do the things that we like to do without a bunch of interruptions. It's like walking jigsaw puzzle. So more shuffle. My nose is itching already, so that means I'm tapping into some pretty powerful energy. Interesting. Hopefully that's not going to be a thing the whole reading. It's weird to scratch my nose on camera. All right. Take a deep breath. Let's dance. Oh, we already have our first card out. Let's see. Let's see what that is. The King of Pentacles. We have a major player already here on the board. Not an actual player, like somebody that's well established, has a good amount of their coins in hand, has been building in legacy. This is like grounded masculine energy of abundance, financial stability, loyalty, which is gorgeous. Loyalty is a gorgeous energy. This is like hubby material or wifey material, but somebody that's very much in the doing energy, because we all have masculine and feminine energy. So this card speaks about somebody who's very much in their masculine energy of accomplishment, establishing legacy, establishing financial stability, establishing a good ground for financial stability, looking to build a home, looking to build a life. This person, as you can see, is holding their abundance in their hands. So they're definitely, whoever this energy is, if this is yours or if this is energy around you, is the energy of somebody who's taking control of their finances, taking control of their material world, holding it in hand, being a good steward of it, being able to both enjoy and build at the same time. As you can see, there's a lot of growth even while this figure is looking into the future. So this is a very future-oriented growth, financially, materially, 3D. This is a very like 3D realm. All the things, all the provisions, plus loyalty, plus steadfastness, knowing who you are and what you're made of, specifically when it comes to like the physical 3D aspect of life. It's good energy to start a reading with. If that's you, dear viewer, that's glorious energy to be in. Proud of you. Happy for you. We all want to get there. We're all on different paths, but we all want to get there. And if that's you, well done. Job well done. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing great. All right. Let's see. What next from my beautiful collective? What's next from my beautiful collective? The Five of Wands. Ooh, maybe a little bit defensive, protective energy, an energy of very much like, yeah, it's like I know who I am and what I am now. I'm not really interested in other people. This is such a masculine energy. I'm not really interested in what other people think about me. I'm not really interested in following the crowd. I know what I'm made of. I'm over here making moves. I'm grounded in myself, and I'm not gonna fight anymore about what my truth is. Like, I've fought long enough to figure out what my truth is. I'm ready just to move forward in that truth. And I'm kind of like, mm, the energy here is an unwillingness to, I'm gonna say collaborate or participate, but it's like an unwillingness to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's literally not coming. Hmm. Accept, a willingness to allow people around you that aren't. This is the kind of, I'm okay to burn bridges. I'm okay to burn bridges if you're showing up in an energy that isn't working towards what I want in my life. This is the very much like, I'm not going to accept, put up with, tolerate. That's the word. I'm no longer in an energy where I'm willing to tolerate false friends, frenemies, people who undermine me, people who make me question myself, my goals, my opportunities, what I want in life. It's that energy of, yeah, I can understand that sometimes people really think that they're doing like the best thing for me, but I know what's best for me. And if you're not willing to support me, then you're kind of in my way. So I like it. It's kind, you're coming home to yourself and you're less willing to allow room or space or give energy to people who make you question yourself, especially when it's it's like, mm, the questioning doesn't contribute to you bettering yourself. It only contributes to your own insecurities. Unfortunately, there are some people who say that they're doing what is in our best interest, or it's only out of concern for what's, the best thing for you. When really, the people just sometimes they project their own insecurities onto us, or they feed the insecurities that they think we might still have, because it always worked before. Give me 1 second. Card fell. I'm back. 10 of Cups. Yeah, you don't have time for that no more, because you're building, you are moving towards something. You're moving towards your happiness, your ultimate wish fulfillment. Your 10 of Cups, your happily ever after. As cliche as that sounds. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay. All right. This is some strong energy. There's a lot of my collective right now that's moving towards the 10 of Cups, which is like a home, a family, legacy, the expansion of truth. I can't get over how blue the butterfly is. And also the green and the blue. There's a lot of speaking and living from one's truth, the throat chakra. There's also the heart on the house. So it's definitely about building a home built with love and intention and truth and honesty, integrity, financial abundance, spiritual wisdom, emotional wisdom. Yeah, this is beautiful. So we got the King of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. A lot of you are burning bridges or refusing to tolerate, interact with, initiate, allow energy around you that isn't in alignment or in service of this 10 of Cups that you're pursuing, wherever that is. Yeah, Hierophant at the bottom. not going to pull it, but it's there. So Hierophant is really talking about um, tradition, ritual, traditional values. Some of you have very traditional values when it comes to family and what family means and your role in what family means. Traditional values about what your role should be in the building of a family and a home and a future. You are getting your house in order. That came through in the previous reading I was doing that I'm probably not going to post because there was a lot of interruptions. So definitely getting your house in order. You're clearing up your social space, your social circle, because you're no longer tolerating, participating in, or giving energy to things that are not in alignment with what you're trying to build. And what you're trying to build is, you're pretty clear on what that is. You're very clear on what that is. It's coming from a place of truth. Learning to speak your truth. Learning to move in your truth. It's good. Oh, another card came out. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it was the Four of Cups in reverse. So you're coming out of a time where you were refusing to give, refusing to be open emotionally, refusing to speak your truth from a place of emotional clarity. It's almost as if the feeling on this card is like, what's the point when nobody out here is being honest about what they want, about who they are? What's the point? I might as well just sit over here, keep my cups to myself. I'm not interested in divulging my emotional inner world to people. I'm just going to hold on to this because I'm not in a place. This is a place of like looking outside of yourself and feeling like the world has nothing really to offer you in terms of real emotional fulfillment. So rather than participate in any kind of way that's emotionally vulnerable, you just would rather not. But this card in reverse is telling me that you're coming out of that. Maybe some of you have found something that you think is worth being emotionally vulnerable, emotionally open, emotionally honest, because the blue is always throat chakra. Throat chakra talks about speaking in integrity with who you are. And the green is emotions. And then the yellow on the chair, sacral, or not sacral, solar plexus. So the very much feeling in your power, moving from a place of your power, allowing your self-concept to enable you, to empower you to speak your truth, specifically when it comes to your internal world, your internal emotions, your intuition, because cups is always about intuition and emotion and inner wisdom. So self-concept, very interesting. What's next for my collective? What's next for my collective? Dog's chewing on his toy. So much better when he was asleep, and then he woke up right as I was starting the reading. Just trying to get it done while he was asleep. What's next for my collective? What else does the collective need to know right now? Oh. Okay, I'm just going to put those back in. Spirit, if you want those cards out, please give them to me one at a time instead of in a big group. For one at a time. So what's next for the collective? Divine ancestors, spirit guides. What does my collective need to know? That one almost turned. We'll see what comes next. Again, falling on the floor. Hey, ma'am. My cat is now holding. She's refusing to give me the card. She's like, nope. Four of Swords. So we've got 2 4s on the board. So 4 4. That might be a number you're seeing a lot of. 4 4. 4s always talk about foundations, building foundations, setting foundations. This one talks about rest. So you're coming out of a time where you were withholding yourself from the world into a time of rest and healing. It's a Four of Swords. So Four of Swords is about rest from thinking. It's kind of like the minor arcana equivalent. I've always seen it as the minor arcana equivalent of hermit mode, but not a separation from the world so much as allowing your mind to quiet, getting quiet within your own mind, getting quiet within your own thought process, really focusing and centering on, again, self concept is coming through, your self concept, what it is you actually want in the world. You're not moving from a place of participating or seeking out what the world tells you you should want. You're really getting firm and clear on what you want, on what your integrity is. No, that's not correct. You're getting really clear on what's important to you, what's in alignment with your desires, what's in alignment with your intellect, what's in alignment with the truth of how you move in the world and how you perceive the world. Not so much allowing the world to mirror to you what you should want, but really, really standing firm and getting quiet. It's that calming the monkey mind so that you can hear the truth of your own inner wisdom. So that you can move in the way. So that's what you're doing right now. You're calming the monkey mind, the outside world. You're stepping back. You're not hermit moding fully, but you're just saying, I'm not going to let the world dictate to me what my truth is anymore. I'm going to go within and figure out what my truth is. And I'm going to allow that to be what decides how I show up and how I move forward. It's kind of like not solitary confinement, it's reflection, it's self-reflection. It is internal reflection. It's good energy. And 4-4, these are solid foundations. So it's a foundational thing you're doing right now. Spirit is coming through to say that this is these choices are building a really solid foundation for you to move forward on. Okay, what else for my collective? What else does my collective need to know right now? Moving forward. The Magician. Okay, this makes a little more sense what I'm seeing in the cards. You're trying to manifest something. As within, so without, as above, so below. This is all about how your intention and the way that you move through the world manifests in. It's about manifestation. Manifestation, from my perspective, has a lot to do with the way that we choose to interact with the world, our perception of the world, our perception of the things we think we deserve. It's both the subconscious and conscious. A lot of it is subconscious, especially if we're not aligning our conscious and our subconscious. There's a need to integrate. Maybe that's what you're doing in that Four of Swords energy. You're integrating your awareness with what you're intuitively feeling, or maybe you're going into an egredo, or maybe you're just coming out of an egredo. Your emotional withdrawal precipitated your negredo. Interesting. There's an alignment happening. You're aligning and you're manifesting in alignment with that. So you're getting real clear on what it is you want, because you're understanding that not being clear on what you want is muddying the energy that allows you to pull in what you actually desire. Maybe you went through a period of, because of that emotional withdrawal, that I can't trust anything in the world. People are shallow. Sorry, my nose is itching. People are shallow. Emotions are fake. There's kind of a disdain in that Four of Cups energy. Since you're coming out of it, though, now you're kind of aligning more with the potential for what you want. You realize that you needed a perspective shift, because if you want to call in the love that you're looking for, you can't be looking at the world and saying, this, it's not real. Like, you can't look at the world and say that what you want doesn't exist in the world and then expect yourself to manifest it. You're kind of realizing that now. So you're stepping into your power and saying, I know that what I want exists, because if it didn't, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't be aware that there is more to want if there isn't actually more in existence. So You're working with spirit now. Instead of looking spirit directly in the face and saying, I don't believe you, and so I'm just going to withhold, you're kind of looking spirit in the face and saying, okay, you kind of showed me that I might have been the problem. I'm listening to you now. I'm integrating that wisdom, and now I'm going to move from a place of information, of my will. I'm willing what I want, and I'm trusting that what I want also wants me, is in alignment with me, that as I align myself with what I really want, it will manifest, it will draw it to me, I will become magnetic for what I wish. Some powerful manifestation energy. Some of you guys have been listening to some very doing a lot of healing and inner work. Maybe some of you are like a little less woo woo. I'm feeling that some of you are like, that's so woo woo and like not real, but you're watching a tarot card reading. So I would challenge calling things woo woo. At least a part of you is understanding that there's a lot more. A little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. So you're manifesting. That's great energy. The Magician upright is great energy. The Magician in reverse is not good energy. But you're an upright manifester. So as above, so below. What I'm seeing on the card, yeah, it's like you're using your intuition. You're also using your logic. You're using your insight. Oh, interesting. There's a hand here with an eye on it. It's the palmistry symbols. We've also got the crystal ball. There's a wand there. There's enlightenment. All the candles on the sombrero remind me of like an enlightenment, like moving from a place of enlightenment. So it's very powerful energy. All right, what else? Oh, I just got tingles. Okay. Whoever's up in my energy right now. Hello, collective, up in my energy right now. I mean, fair's fair. I'm kind of tapping into yours. But listen, hey, calm down. I'm just reading. Next card. And a back. He's so cute, isn't he? He's just adorable. Truth is coming through. I'm loving this reading. So we got standing in your truth, seeing the truth, allowing your higher mind to kind of inform you. This is like divine guidance. This is your higher self guiding your way. This is your self-concept. Again, there's so much yellow in this card. This is definitely self-concept, your self-concept and your heart. So it's intellect and heart. You see that the vine's kind of wrapped around the sword, but look, the sword isn't cutting the vine. It's like protecting it. You're realizing that you can use your mind not to harden your heart, not to keep your heart from the world, not to keep your heart from expanding. You can use your mind to inform what you allow to grow in the garden. And the garden would be your soul, would be your heart space. There's also some red, so it's talking about passion as well. Tempered passion. Interesting that that's come through. Tempered passion. Oh, are you very passionate people maybe? Allowed your passion to run a little loose for a while, and now you're realizing that that's not really who you are. I mean, it's who you are, but not in the kind of communal charity sense. It's who you are with the right person. There's power in that. Yeah. You're not a quickie mart. Don't treat yourself like one. Anything else? What else for my collective? What else for my collective? I love this energy. It's very powerful. It's very strong. It's talking about a lot of integration. I can only imagine what you've had to go through to get here. We can look into it a little bit, or no, okay, we don't want to. We want to just move forward. We want to know what's coming. Filthy. The good kind of filthy. Naughty collective. Some of you are. Some of you are not. That's okay. We're all on the same page now. gracious. Okay. That first reading must have been a test run, because like I'm really feeling the energy now. It's sitting in my body. What else? Okay. Let's get clear. What else for the collective? Okay. Spirit wants to talk about it. You might not want to, but Spirit wants to. So we're going to talk about it. Spirit's going to talk about it. 5 of Swords. Feeling there's this kind of energy of doing whatever you need to do to get whatever you, it's a little cutthroat. It's a little cutthroat. But I don't know, what I get from this is more like partnerships. There was some sort of partnership that you thought was actually going to be really good, and honestly it just ended up like putting you in a weakened position. Whether you're male or female, this is talking about some sort of partnership or some kind of like shady dealing. Didn't seem shady, but then once you're in, you're realizing that what you thought it was. And I can't help but see the red. Okay, some of you definitely dallied in something that ended up putting you in a position that was really uncomfortable, emotionally painful, but also for some of you, I'm really feeling like it caused, or could have caused, it caused you a lot of stress because it could have caused a lot of damage to your professional and social life. Some of you are in, welcome. Some of you have a very forward facing career. And so whatever this thing was that you got yourself involved in could have blown that up. And you just kind of feel a little bit like, you know, they say hindsight is 2020 or 40/20 or whatever. And if you had known before going in, you probably would not have done it. Even if you had an inkling, you still weren't 100% clear. And from what I'm feeling, it's not like you had an inkling. You honestly, like, it's almost as if you were blinded by your passion. You were blinded by your desire, your passion, the creative, whatever, you felt a creative something. So creativity and sexual energy are pretty much the same energy. And yeah, whatever this partnership was, it's really affected, like, I don't know if you can see that clearly, but there's all these like cut lines through the yellow flowers, which are your self-concept, and then also the passion. But what I'm seeing here is like this female skeleton is holding a bouquet of red roses. So it's almost like this was a romantic situation, or like a partnership that was built upon a desire for romance, and it just really like, it really messed with you. It doesn't have to be it was a woman. It's just talking about like, it's the way I'm reading is more like partnership. For some of you, it is very much talking about a romantic significant other, or at least a romantic ideal that ended up being like not what you thought it was going to be. And it really put you in a position of like losing a lot of the things you've worked for. So you have this kind of, almost like, if you feel passionate towards a person or a thing, you tend to be a little bit more skeptical about what it is. It's almost like, I like you, so I don't trust you, which is a weird energy, but not, I understand it given what I'm feeling in this card. Yeah, there's this, oh, okay, so the devil's following that. It's almost like you don't trust yourself when it comes to desire. Interesting. When it comes to your desires, you feel like your desires are actually a vulnerable spot for you. Like, your desires have led you down a lot of roads that maybe weren't in the best interest. Which is interesting, because if you see the yellow down here at the bottom, your desires come from a sense of self-concept. So it's not like your desires aren't in alignment with who you are. It's maybe just the way that you've chosen to manifest those desires, or the desires that the way you've chosen to channel the energy of desire. I feel like some of you are recognizing that like you have had very toxic ties or very toxic what's the word? Behaviors surrounding desire, because you're channeling your desire, and maybe there's a better way for you to channel your desire to serve you unapologetically, without feeling like you need to wear a mask and without feeling like you need to put on pretenses for other people. Interesting that that's coming through. I've always read the devil as like very I am my own leader, very rebellious, very anti-authoritarian, very unapologetically sensual, of the senses. And there's a call for you to never to not deny that. But there's also, if you see here, he's got the little mariachi puppets here. There's a call for you to channel your, some of you are musical, some of you should be channeling your desire, your passion, your sexual energy, your creative energy more into your music. Allow that to feed what you make in the world, because that will feed your self-concept, and it's a truer manifestation of who you are. You can be honest with your heart without letting your desire rule it. There's something about aligning your self-concept, your passion, and your heart with your material abundance, instead of allowing or trying to keep one separate from the other. You run into problems when you try to keep who you are, what you desire, your creative force, separate from your financial abundance. There's a call here for you to actually channel it into your financial abundance in a very creative way, through music or writing. I see music a lot, but there's like writing and performance, some sort of performance. You would know more precisely what there is, but there's definitely like, you weren't using it the right way before. You were allowing yourself to be led around by it rather than using it to, you were being led by your desire rather than channeling your desire. Interesting. At least for a time. And the true power is allowing your self-concept to channel your desire appropriately to get the things that you want in life, rather than allowing your desire to kind of lead you around blindly. The thing I just heard in my head. Some of you don't allow yourself to be led around by your thinky brain below your waist. Yeah. Use the head on your shoulders, not the head at your hips, is all I'm gonna say. I mean, in certain circumstances, using both is great. But when it comes to your livelihood, use the one on your shoulders. And ladies, same goes for you. Don't be out here popping it off, trying to make money. You don't need to pop it off to make money, okay? There's better ways to make money. I mean, no shame. You do what you got to do, but like, you know, if it's working for you, you know, if it's damaging your self-concept or if it's building your self-concept. Let's just be honest about it. Let's be honest about it, because dishonesty serves no one. You're robbing yourself. That needed to come through. Okay, all right. What's next for the collective? What's next for the collective? Interesting. Interesting. What else does my collective need to hear? Oh, 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 oh. Sorry, they fell on my dog. Some of you are walking away from something. Yeah, you're walking away from something and it feels like it's emotional, it's sad. Um, you're a little worried about what's being lost by the walking away, but what you don't see, because you're still very much in your head and your thoughts and your feels about what you're having to walk away from or what you've had to walk away from. Um, the loss of it, that you don't see that what you're actually walking towards is self-fulfillment, Nine of Cups energy, no longer feeling like you're being drained. The Eight of Cups talks about walking away from situations, people's, places, things that were taking more than they were ever giving. It's about choosing your love for yourself and your journey forward than staying somewhere that is really not meant for you anymore. It's interesting because what I'm seeing is like a tide pulling out, but what's actually being pulled out is not, it's your energy, it's your intuition, it's your cups, uh it's that self-love. The tide's ripping out the self-love, and you were standing in that rip tide for a really long time, calling it love, calling it, you know, thinking that you were doing the right thing, but really there was so much of you that was just being poured out to keep a thing safe, to keep a thing at. You think about swimming against a riptide. Is that ever a wise decision? No, no, it's not. Best decision is to let go and then swim parallel to the riptide. It might take you pretty far away, but eventually you'll get back to home. You'll get back to home. It surely beats fighting the riptide and wearing yourself out and drowning to death. It can be scary to let go. It's very scary to let go. It's scary to walk away from something. It's scary to let go of the need to try to control, even if you know that in that control is costing you more than it's gaining you. Interesting. Hmm. But what you're coming toward, like how we did that, after letting go in the Eight of Cups, is the Nine of Cups, which is self-mastery, self-fulfillment. Again, with the, you're pouring into yourself, you're building yourself, you're no longer giving to people, places, things that aren't, interesting how this is all tying together, that aren't fulfilling you. You're no longer pouring your cup out for interactions or energies or uh, connections that are taking. Even if it doesn't seem like they're taking a lot, they're still taking and they're not giving. And you're like, okay, I am tired of feeling like I'm constantly being emptied out. Like the sum of my efforts is just being wasted. It's being spilt upon the ground. I no longer have any wish to continue spilling myself upon the ground and calling it success. Now you're going to just be filling your cup of love. See the little heart in the middle? That's you loving on yourself. That's you pouring into yourself in such a way that like you're feeling pretty good in your own energy. You're realizing that you don't need to feel lonely just because you're not involved with others. There's a power in that. There's a power in understanding that self-love is the foundation for every other kind of love. Cool. I like it. I like that energy for you. It's hard though, whatever you walked away from, like, but you also understood, like, from an inner wisdom place, and it's good that you listened to it. The Eight of Cups is usually a really hard decision. Give me just a second. I do all the moans for effect. You're welcome. Ooh, okay. Yeah, the Chariot. You're moving forward from Three of Swords. Again, this is, yeah, the Three of Swords is going to go on that Five of Swords. And the Chariot is forward movement from heartbreak, from betrayal, from a sense of mental turmoil and distrust. It's like, for some of you, you had a relationship or some kind of partnership in your life that you at one point felt was beautiful, was loving. You built a foundation there. You were building a foundation there. And like if you look at the card, there's a lot of yellow. See the wreaths of yellow? It's almost like it should have been celebratory. But what ended up happening is you're over here celebrating your love. You're over here celebrating whatever the partnership was. You're over here celebrating this union and this person. The moment you relaxed into it, right in the back. And the first one, you're like, whoa. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And you're like, okay, so you took the sword out. You took the sword out and they just put two more in the same spot. And it hurt bad. And it literally shook you. And I feel like the two additional swords were, okay, the first one was like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. You were willing to maybe consider that, everybody makes mistakes. But then they came for not just your heart, they came for everything that you've been building. And you were like, no, not doing it. So Three of Swords. You're moving out of that energy though, but it's taken some time. It's taken some time. You've had to die. See the key pulling back the curtain. Yep, 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 yep. And what's behind the curtain? You seeing with the eyes of desire only. But he's like, yeah, so we're going to curtain call on that one, but we're going to remind you that there's higher wisdom, there's self-concept, there's speaking your truth. And then this guy, the Holy Spirit, the divine, is going to resurrect all of this, because right now this is kind of in kaputs. Yeah, got the yellow and the orange. There's a lot going on. You can see the colors pouring out of the skull too. But like there's a call for you to move forward with divine wisdom, which is purple, self-concept and truth and honesty, and trust that that will lead you to passion that is actually purposeful, and also is grounded because the green in the heart space, but also like the 3D space. So you're moving out of a time of heartache, loss, towards, let's see what you're going to be moving towards, shall we? Sorry, I had a little kabumshkle in there to remind my puppy that he can't just run around and knock over everything. All right, what is the collective moving towards the Chariot from the Three of Swords? Oh, what was I just saying about divine wisdom? Oh my goodness. You're moving towards a high priestess, which is either you or someone. It's definitely a connection with divine wisdom. High priestess is always someone who sees the truth but doesn't speak it necessarily. They're like watching. They hold the wisdom. They hold wisdom. They hold wisdom. You see a lot of purple. That's divinity, but there's also this holding their truth as well. It's almost as if they're looking back and they're reading through the book and they're saying, okay, I'm balancing these accounts now. There's the moon, and then you've got the crown of the divine here. So divinity is guiding your intuition, your inner knowing. You're listening and you're allowing it to inform you, but you're not speaking what you're hearing. There is that level of the high priestess where she understands, she sees, she perceives, but she doesn't speak. It's almost as if you're kind of like coming into the understanding that just because you can see somebody as a fool, telling them that they're a fool is not necessarily conducive. It's almost a waste of your energy. You see people for what they are now. You're allowing your discernment to work for you instead of allowing your discernment to be the thing that you use as a pejorative in the world. Like, you don't need to call out people's dishonesty anymore. You just see it, you clock it, you move forward. You allow it to inform how you choose to interact rather than use it as a evidence-based counter to whoever's doing whatever. Like, you no longer need to share the wisdom. You don't feel the need to be validated in your confrontation of the things that you see. Like, you don't need other people to validate it. You see it. You see it for what it is. You understand that you're seeing it for what it is, and you let it inform you. You're moving again in connection with divine, in connection with your higher wisdom, in connection with the wisdom that says, I don't need to call it out to see it. I see it. I'm going to just let it inform what I'm going to do and move forward from here. I'm not going to waste my time trying to explain to the people that are doing what they're doing to me that they're doing it to me and I'm aware. You're like, I'm not going to announce to the baddie how I'm going to avoid their attack. I'm just going to avoid their attack. Give me just a second. Sorry, I had to do a little rearranging. You heard my cat. She was asking to go out. So she has kittens. That's why she's in the bedroom. Kittens are in the box over there. All right. So yeah, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is telling me that you're making some moves, some emotional moves. Some of you are moving towards something important, a love offer, but you're not moving from a place of like sacral, like, that sacral energy, not just emotion, but emotion and heart and truth and wisdom, because you're looking back at the high priestess. This card, when I put it down, looking at the high priestess moving forward. So I don't know, maybe if the high priestess isn't your energy, the high priestess is the energy of someone in your life that you see as I can't help but notice that, like, she's holding a staff, a key. She's holding a key in this picture. Yeah, some of you have met someone that you definitely feel is really intuitive and in touch with the divinity, in touch with the feminine truth, and some of you are moving towards that energy. It inspired something in you, or some of you are moving toward that energy with that same energy. Is that resonance? Some of you are resonating. That's beautiful. Knight of Cups talks about a love offer. Usually it's an offer of love or offer of some sort of emotional depth or emotional intelligence. You're moving toward it. I see that in this card, you're moving through an archway. So it's almost like you're moving through a gateway where you're not just moving from passion, which is this orange, yellow, red color. You're not just moving from the base, your root and your sacral and your solar chakras, specifically your root and your sacral. That's orangey red, if you know what I mean. Yum yum, spicy. But you're allowing your heart, which is this green blanket, the heart space, and the space of truth, which is the throat chakra, so speaking your truth. You're moving from that place into this new area. So you're passing through a threshold with more emotional intelligence. For some of you, it could be a love offer. For some of you, it's just emotional intelligence. You're just moving forward. That high priestess energy is with you, and you're moving forward into a place of more emotionally intelligent. Yeah, because following that, you're moving forward into a place of emotional intelligence because, y'all, my beautiful collective, we're moving from a place of, how do I say this politely? Y'all were just being about town, kind of, in a way. And maybe energetically. I don't necessarily feel like this is necessarily physically, but there's an energy here of fast and very not thoughtful. Just kind of like, if it lights me up, it's gonna light me up. I'm gonna light it up. Some of you are being like very salacious in your behavior. Some of you are being very salacious in your behavior. Some of you were chasing rods or chasing things with your rod. And it wasn't just. I'm not going to call it a rod of justice. In this case, it wasn't just. It was just lust. Not just lust. That's what you guys were following. You're following your lust. You were following your passion. Is that not channeling your creative energy in a safe, sane, consensual way. You were just being led around by your less higher mind. Some of you were delighting in the pleasures of the flesh a little bit too much, in a way that really wasn't in keeping with anything healthy for you. You just burnt out real quick. Look at the posture on the horse. It's just like, whoa. I mean, you guys are having a good old time, but eventually, consequences come home to roost, and it maybe not is not so. Hopefully none of you got one of those gifts that keeps on giving. Hopefully you guys were at least being sensible a little bit. Just the 3 leaves there. Some of you were just out here doing the most. Y'all were just out here doing the most. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is usually like allowing your passions to drive you towards a purpose, but this is not being driven towards a purpose. Well, it's being driven towards a purpose, but not one that grows anywhere. I mean, it grows somewhere, but sorry, I can't. No, okay. Some of you are out here being very slooty, whether that's energetically or actually. You know what you were up to. I clearly know what you're up to as well. Some of you, it just feels like you were partying a lot, flirting a lot, dilly-dallying a lot, just having a good old time, not being serious about it, just out to feel good. Dopamine chasing. Oh, and the 9 of Swords pops out immediately after, and you weren't feeling good about it. In the moment, yeah, felt great. Feeling frisky, feeling fine, feeling fancy, feeling free. Then you go home and hate yourself. Feel trapped. Because it wasn't actually, because it's not actually you. Because it felt great in the moment. The dopamine hit felt great. And then you go home and you're like, this is why we can't have nice things. I'm literally hearing one of you say that to yourself. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we're just alone. This is why we're just sitting here with a, for all of our pretending that we're morally superior, we're just sitting here like hating ourselves after the fact. I had a good time, but I have nothing to show for my good time. Excuse me. Yeah, that's that truth coming up. Nothing to show for my good time, and honestly, I feel wretched about it. I feel wretched about it. I'm just gonna close the book on that. Closing the book on that. I'm gonna seek some higher wisdom. There's remorse. There's a lot of remorse and like self-loathing in this card. It doesn't feel nice, but it also feels like a lot of you, after you were busy, after you were done playing the fan favorite, were secretly in private kind of really hating yourselves for that behavior, and then maybe continuing because it was easier than taking stock of. But not anymore. Yeah, I see why though, because you're afraid to love. You were afraid to love for a really long time. Afraid to trust anything that looked like it could be love, that felt like it could be love. A lot of you kept revisiting that wound, that betrayal, those betrayals. And let's see. Yeah, but some of you have now found a truth because you've been healing, Temperance, that you actually do have love. And this is lying between the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups, because you found someone that actually makes you feel safe, makes you feel seen, makes you feel celebrated, makes you feel like home, almost like a reunion. There's someone that you just feel more like yourself than you've ever felt around. You don't have to wear a mask, but you do. And then you realize that the mask has come away, fallen off, come off. And there might have been a couple instances where you reached desperately to put it back on, but before you kind of also recognize that you didn't even realize it had fallen off. It just felt so good. There's someone that caught your eye. There's someone that caught your eye. And they caught your eye enough that you actually want to build a foundation, another four. So now we've got 444. I can't make this up. So you want to build a foundation. The Four of Wands talks about celebration, coming together, building foundations, laying foundations, building something strong. So you've got the King of Cups, the Three of Cups, which talks about having found someone, or at least it could even be a group of people that you feel at home in. Like you feel like you're seen, you feel like you can be who you really are. It could be one person, it could be three people. But because we're following the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands directly with a Queen of Cups, preceded by the King of Cups, this is telling me this is about a person, a specific person, divine counterpart, or at least some sort of counterpart, some kind of really strong soulmate, someone who sees you and accepts you, and also has recognized that there is something to the relationship that is more than just feeling fun, feeling fancy, feeling free. Yeah, because this union is laying on top of the Knight of Wands, and it's coming after you got clarity. You move towards clarity, you quickly move towards healing. So you coming out of the Knight of Wands, again was coming from that broken heart energy. Even though you were emotionally intelligent, you were withholding your emotional intelligence. You knew what was going on inside of you, but you weren't talking about it. You were still out here playing games. And then but coming home, and or like in your internal world, like hating yourself for not, is interesting. You were emotionally aware of what you were doing. You're emotionally intelligent enough to know what you actually want, but you were still moving in the world in a way that wasn't in alignment with it. And so then in your private, most innermost thoughts, you were in your head, you were like, I maybe some of you felt like you ruined something by being in this energy of just like flagrant flirting and out there partying. Now you moved quickly from that. Like you turned all that self-loathing into swallowing sort of truth so that you could heal, so that you could integrate. Now you're drinking from your own cup of emotional intelligence because you had it before, you just weren't using it. You got real with yourself about that. You healed the whatever, or you're working on healing whatever it was that was preventing you from actually, you know, moving from all that hard earned emotional intelligence that you had gained. Now you're drinking from the cup of that emotional intelligence and recognizing that you do have people in your life who you value, who you can be your truest self around, specifically a person for some of you, and you really want to build something foundational with that person. Like you literally are seeing them as the pinnacle. They're the heart of. And the thing about this is, look at all the red. There's desire. There's so much desire for this person from you. Like there's so much red, and then there's green, and there's blue, and there's yellow, the self-concept, the desire. Maybe you were feeling a bit overwhelmed by the desire because again, you were in this place where you were like, I can't trust what I desire. I can't trust it. The moment I desire it, I know it's gonna fuck me over. Excuse the language. It's like what I'm getting here. But it's not, it's actually your desire is leading you towards someone who desires you too, sees you too, accepts you too, actually really loves who you are, not who you pretend to be, not who you put on to be, not the performance of yourself, who you actually are. Because the Queen of Cups sees it. Queen of Cups can see who a person really is. Queen of Cups is like the emotional equivalent of the High Priestess, but emotionally. She sees exactly what you are. She can see through you, but it's not from a place of judgment or love. If she was in reverse, this would be a very manipulative person who uses exactly what they see to play you like a fiddle. Upright, she's not. Upright, she sees you, she accepts you, she understands that your layers are what make you beautiful. And she wants you. She wants to give you her heart because she sees what you are. She's the best in you. She accepts you for what you are. This is radical self-acceptance. This is radical acceptance by someone else. This is someone who can hold all of you, who's capable of holding all of you, because she sees you. Because she sees all the parts of you that you didn't necessarily want someone else seeing. But she saw them, and she actually likes those parts of you more than the parts that you perform. Oh my God. I happen to be a Pisces, so I get it. Listen, unhealed, we're always trying to fix other people. Healed, we just accept who people are. And if this is somebody who's accepting who you are and still extending their heart, it's because they value who you are. Because they see value in who you are. Not in the you want the world to see, or the you that you used to perform in this Knight of Wands energy. Not the, I just... wow. Not that I just liked... my name is Buck, and I like to... not that. But who you actually are. And you're over here realizing it now because you've been drinking from the cup of your own emotional intelligence. Interesting. The decision needs to be made, though. Two of Swords talks about a decision. And it's the decision that's like, you can't backtrack and go the other way. You have to like take one route, and then taking one route inevitably ends the possibility of the other route. So it's not like it's an easy decision, but I feel like you already know what the decision should be. And I feel like you know what the decision should be because you know what you're hoping for in your heart, and you've been reflecting on it with that healing phase that you went through. And because you are actually really emotionally intelligent, even though you weren't maybe moving from your emotional intelligence, you know what you want. You already know what you want, but you're kind of like, there's a little, it's not like it's super him and hawing. There's just like a decision needs to be made. Make the decision though, based on what you know. See, the nails are out of the coffin. You've come out of the Four of Swords now. You've come out of the self-reflection, or you're going to be coming out of the self-reflection with awareness, balanced with hope. Understanding that like whatever decision you make, it should be led by your truth, and there should be some trust that what you're moving towards is going to work out for you. There's hope there. You should let your hope inspire you towards movement. Not foolishly, informed. All right. Let's see. It's a lot of cards. I think we were supposed to get clarifiers, but I don't know if we're going to do that because we're in pretty deep. I think we've done good here. Dare I say, I believe we've done good here. Excuse me. All right. Anything else for my collective? My beautiful collective. My beautiful collective. Anything else? It was sitting on the bottom of the pile, but it wanted to come out. Hangman, you're taking some time. You're stepping back. You're watching. You're allowing it. It's almost as if you know that you still aren't fully ready. And there's something about allowing yourself to sit in everything, like the knowledge that you've gained before you make the decision. Let's see. Yeah, because like what I see here is that you want peace and rebirth. So you see the lily here, that's peace. And you see the tombstone in the back, that's rebirth. You're kind of like sitting at the altar of everything you almost lost and realizing that you really need to get firm on what you actually want before you proceed forward. Because if you move forward with any kind of wishy-washy emotion, you stand to lose quite a bit. You want to make a decision that's informed from thought and taking the time to make that thought instead of just acting on impulse and instinct, which is why I'm not seeing the Knight of Swords following the Two of Swords. It's almost as if you recognize that moving impulsively in this situation could cost you. Not in a financial way, in a very like could cost you a really hard earned, hard won, not hard earned, hard won clarity. You're just kind of sitting with that clarity and allowing it to, you're sitting with it until you're real clear on it. You're sitting with it. It's almost like a sacrificial energy. The hangman is usually a sacrificial energy. Again, it's Pisces. Go figure. It's that watching and seeing, but not necessarily moving. You're just surveying the situation. It's very watery. It's very intuitive. It's very in, I don't want to say introverted, but it's that kind of less less outwardly actualizing and more inwardly reflecting. So yeah, not a bad idea. I would say, given everything that I'm seeing in this reading, it's really not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea, but there's a little bit of concern. It's hard. It's getting hard to like sit in that energy. You're wondering, you're wondering if when you do finally step forward with this Page of Cups, if it's going to be enough. You're also wondering and hoping that your offer isn't going to be seen as immature. But the Page of Cups also asks to leave a little bit of room for magic, a little bit of room for surprise, a little bit of room for I don't want to say, for the miraculous. That's the word I'm looking for the miraculous to happen. Allow life to surprise you. But what I'm really drawn to here in your energy is, you see the holes and the water's coming through. You're like, this might not be a good enough offer. I might not have enough to offer given everything that's happened. What if it's not enough? This is still a little bit of self-doubt. You should get out of that self-doubt. If it's true, if you're moving from your truth and you're moving from your heart and you're allowing everything that you've gained, all the knowledge you've gained, I think you can allow yourself to make this offer. I think you should allow yourself to make this offer and leave space. Like, replace your doubt with room for the miraculous. Replace your doubt with room to be surprised. Be surprised. You're not making this offer from just desire. You're not making this offer from, bluster and bull malarkey. You're making this offer from your truth, from your heart. You should relax a little bit and let yourself be surprised by the outcome. Even though you're really afraid. Spirit's not gonna, yeah, you got this. You're in your head about it. You're like, you're traveling the abysses of your own, what do they call that? The French have a word for this. It's like the place that people go to be forgotten. It's usually a part of a labyrinth. It starts with a Q. I can't think of the word. But you're lost in that right now. Self-doubt. Feeling like you're super drowning in your emotions right now over this offer. This offer you want to make. This offer of love. Wondering if it's going to be enough. Feeling like it might not be enough. Feeling it might be too late. Feeling like all might be lost. What you're not seeing is the flower blooming behind you. You're looking at the place where the flower was once blooming and it's no longer there. The roots of the thing. You're looking at the roots of the thing at the past, but you're not seeing what's happening behind because you're lost in the, oh, it almost came to me. The word almost came to me. It starts with the Q. Oh, it's part of a labyrinth. It's a French word. Or no, it starts not with Q. It starts with an O. It's called the oubliette. Yeah, you're lost in the oubliette. Yeah, I'm over here. It starts with a Q. No, it doesn't. It's fine. I like the letter Q. Q is one of my favorite letters. Yeah, you're lost in the oubliette of your own mind. Self-doubt. feeling like you've already ruined it before you've even really let it begun. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth, and you know it because you're emotionally aware enough to know it. But there's that self-deprecating. Got a little bit of that self-deprecation working there. So let's see what spirit says. This is where you're at. This is that's what those holes in the Page of Cups spoon is about. You're looking at your offer and you're doubting that. You're thinking it's too late. It's too late. It might not be. That's just how you feel. That's like the self-defeating mantra you're repeating. Maybe you should stop doing that. Has that worked out for you before? Maybe you should really stand in your power. You've been healing. Maybe you have a lot more to offer. You're not in the Knight of Wands in reverse anymore. You swallowed truth. You moved toward truth and healing, and now you've got something real to offer. And the person you want to offer it, yeah, see the sun. See? And look, the mariachis are free. They're no longer chained by the devil. They're playing to their heart's content. This is talking about partnership. This is talking about enlightenment, partnership, happiness. There's a bluebird. Oh, there's a Hosier song. It's the lyrics. Little bluebird, let your song be sung, let your song be heard. But the music, again, there's something about music. Something, maybe you were connecting with this person through music. Did you make an offer using music and you feel like it wasn't received? Interesting, specific. It was. Something about singing, something about music making, something about partnership, something about doing. It's two, right? It's two mariachis. There's usually more in a mariachi band, but there's two, and they're free now. They're free from the constraints that were binding them. They're standing in the sun together. There's happiness here. Look how happy they are. They're so happy. Two guitarras. Do you play guitar? Cool. Guitar's good stuff. Yeah. Singing, playing, enjoying life, enjoying happiness, enjoying partnership. Yep. That's the outcome. That's the outcome here. Get out of the oubliette of your mind and allow yourself to be surprised by the miraculous. Okay, I feel like that was a really long reading. I don't think that we need to do any clarification with the wild unknown. Maybe. Nah. I think it's been really clear. I think spirit was really clear on this reading. I used the clarifiers the reading I was doing before, but there was a lot. This came out pretty clearly. So we're gonna leave it there. I think what needed to be said got said. I think those of you watching know what resonates and know what these messages mean for you personally. And I just want to thank you for being here, for going on this little joyride with me. And I hope that whatever you received, I hope it helps. I hope it helps you make the decisions that you need to make. I hope it helps clarify some of your concerns. And I hope it inspires you to move forward in a healthy, whole way towards the things that you have worked so hard to build, but maybe didn't believe were for you. Spirit's letting you know everything you want can be yours. You've worked hard for it. You deserve it. It's happening. Just get out of your brain about it. Get out of your head about it. You've done so much healing. Don't get caught back up in the oubliette of self-doubt. Don't get lost. Allow your inner wisdom, your higher wisdom to guide you. And no more, no more hoe-baggery, please. That's not going to help anything. Never helped you. You never liked yourself for it. Just stop it. Stop it. You have so much to give the right person. You are aware. So save it for the right person. You're not a quickie mart. It's because it feels fun in the moment doesn't mean it's good for your soul. I don't know why. I feel like I'm being such a mom right now. But I'm saying it with love. Being a tarot mom. Love yourself. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy. Even the naughty stuff. I don't mind. It's good. uh yeah. And don't forget, make every day sacred.